Greetings, fellow makers, and welcome down to the prop live from the shop. And I'm Bill, of course, here in the prop shop. And today I'm working on a tiny little project, not tiny, but small scale project I've been working on for a couple of weeks now that I'm really excited about. We're going to be painting some rust on my RC car. This guy right here is my little Mad Max styled RC car. And I've base coated it a sort of ruddy, rusty brown, and then I'm going to go over it with these two, this paint here and then this solution here to make real rust on it. So this is a Sculpt Nouveau iron metal coating, and then this is the patina solution. So I'm going to selectively pick spots on here to turn into real rust, and then I'm going to paint over all of this later with a blue color. I want this to be nice and blue. And then I will remove that paint to show this rust color underneath. So base coat it in a ruddy brown color, put my iron coating on, spray it to make it all rusty, and then it'll look amazing. So that's the plan for today. Follow along. It's going to be really cool. Yeah. I'm using this Sculpt Nouveau iron metal coating. We'll have links to all this in the description of the video. This is just an acrylic paint with metal powder in it, and I just apply it wherever I want some rust to show up, and then I'll spray it with the patina solution. That's what's going to happen after that. But first, I'll take some of the paint, the iron metal coating, and I just glob it on wherever I want there to be some rust color on my piece. For this piece in particular, I'm not being too picky. I'm just getting some good coverage wherever I want there to be a little bit of rust. And I can layer this. Once this has patinaed a bit later, I can add more if I need it. And so I'm not being really picky. I'm just kind of laying down some paint like so. You can see it's kind of a grayish color. It's because it's got that iron powder in it. And then when I'm happy with what I've laid down, again, I have this patina solution here, and I just spray it. I put it in a spritzing bottle. Just give it a little spray. Make sure I cover it, and then I'll leave that, and over time this will get all rusty. So we'll tune back in and check on how rusty that is later. I've been doing similar work here on the body of the car. Basically, I've got a couple of brushes here. This one's kind of for dabbing a lot of material on, a lot of paint. So again, this is just the coating, the metal coating acrylic paint, and I'm dabbing it. I'm not covering everything. I'm just trying to focus on areas where there's going to be some heavy rusting along the edge here around the wheel well. Trying to add some texture with this paintbrush. And there we go. I've got some reference images up too. If we look, I've got my web browser here. Just reference images of, what rust on cars looks like, what I really want to try. Something like this. I'll probably go in and maybe even Dremel out parts of the car, parts of the wheel well here, so that they look all textured and cool with like holes and crap through them, like they've been rusted all the way through. So yeah, basically I use this guy here to add some nice texture. I use this smaller brush here to add a bit of rust along the edge of the car hood there. And the end of this brush is actually getting all rusty. But I got a little more control with this brush to kind of add a rust line around the edge of the hood here, like there's rust sneaking out from under it there. And then once I'm happy with all of the paint that I've laid down, I'm actually using a brush to apply this. My spritzing bottle, turns out my spritzing bottle is all gummed up and cruddy. So I just use a brush here to dab the areas where I've added that paint. And this will get the chemical reaction going and rust all of the paint there, and it should look really neat. We just gotta give it a little time to do its thing. So there's one of our hubcaps right there. I'll put some better final photos in this in the final edit of this video, but it's starting to turn some cool colors over there. it's getting there. I'm definitely going to do another pass on this, but it's starting to look really neat. Well, it's been about a little more than an hour since we applied some of the rust here, and it's taken its time, but it's starting to get really kind of gross. You see some lighter splotches here. Down in there, there's some more like greens and oranges and stuff that are getting really cool and gross. I just keep going over it. Some of these spots are getting a texture that I like, but not quite the color that I like. But what's cool is I'll apply all of this and then let it sit overnight. And then by tomorrow, once the chemical reaction stopped, I'll have a lot more different colors and stuff. So here's some stuff I just put on. Again, I just dabbed on the paint, and then I went over it with the oxidizer. So I'm just gonna keep rolling on it. You can see some really cool texture up on this top part here. This side over here is still mostly clean, but it's getting there. This is really just a process of just repeating it over and over again until you get the look that you like. So I'll keep working on this, and then I'll come on back once I'm done. There is our little rusty car, and I'm pretty stoked about how it's going. It took a little longer than I thought for the chemical reaction to go, but overall I'm really happy. I'm probably going to let this dry overnight and then give it another pass tomorrow, and then I'll do my painting on top of it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this live stream today. Of course, you can check them all out at twitch.tv/punishedprops. Give us a follow over there if you want to catch all these when they're live. And we also did a patina video on the YouTube channel. I have a link to that down in the description if you want to get a more detailed instructional look at this sort of technique. But hopefully you learned a little bit about doing some really cool, legitimate rusting techniques on our little car here. If you want to see how I built the rest of this car, I am doing an article series on tested.com. Again, I'll have a link to that down in the description. Thank you again for hanging out on the live stream this week, you guys. Thank you for watching the video. And until next time, I hope you guys get out there and try some of this neat stuff for yourself. It's really fun. So, see you next week.